Good morning.
Good morning. The master is out.
I am aware. I chuckled at the routine reply and headed for the position I was in the other day. If I stay here, I might be able to see CEF again. Feeling slightly apologetic to the gatekeeper, who looked as if he wanted to say something, I began to prepare before sitting down. I bent and stretched lightly to loosen up the area around the knee that would be under the most strain. When I looked up, there was no sign of anyone other than the gatekeeper, and as I was wondering if this would be a waste of time today... Well, say what you want about him, but he keeps his appointments. That's nice.
Oh, you.
CEF! I didn't expect to see him so soon. Just as I was about to run up to him in joy, CEF's palm stopped me.
Today I've brought a message from the old man.
What?
A message from my father.
From Minister Orda?
Yeah. A message from Minister Orda to the wife of the political assistant.
As I continued to doubt my ears, I saw the expression of CEF's eyes change, as if he were looking upon something he pitied. I have a bad feeling about this, but I ask while clinging onto hope. What did the minister...
Oh.
After a hesitant glance, he opened his mouth with all the strength he can muster.
He says he doesn't want to see you, and he's not coming out.
That's... The simple wording is most likely CEF's kindness. I'm shocked he didn't just tell the guards to tell her that instead of just tell her I'm not home. Why didn't he say, I'm not coming out, and I also don't want to see you? I feel like he could have done that earlier. I was shocked by what I was told and could not follow up. This is the first time I've been refused outright. Up to now I had been rejected indirectly, simply by him not meeting me. Now I was being rejected clearly in words through someone else. My body began to feel heavy and I wanted to sink into the ground.
All right. I've delivered the message.
With my face sunken in despair, CEF looked awkward and tried to return to the mansion. If I give up now, I really will have no other options. Wait! Please wait!
Oh, is there something else?
I'd like to ask you to act as a go-between with the minister again.
That's not possible.
Why? Toya's policies are necessary for this continent.
Hold up.
CEF turned around and waved his hand calmly.
You know, I don't really understand politics, so I'm neither for or against the king's policies. Which is why I told my old man about your visit yesterday. I don't got no ill will towards you, and of course towards His Majesty.
I like this because she's listening instead of just is he gonna get to the point? Which is kind of what this choice gives me vibes of. So, yeah, I mean, he is speaking honestly, for sure. He's just like, what do you want from me? I've accepted my role as this no good heir, and I don't want anything to do with any of this, okay? Just Nice. He might be flippant, but I can tell he's speaking honestly. In that case, could you please serve as an intermediary once more?
Oh, that's impossible. I told you yesterday, yeah? The old man's pretty stubborn. I don't think he's gonna change his mind.
Ah, is that so?
Yeah. So, could you go home for today?
Then I'd like to ask you to pass along a message to the minister.
A message? Sorry, but if there's something you want to say to the old man, you'd better say it directly to him.
Why is that?
The old man hates me as much as he hates you.
Well, for the son of such a strict minister, he is fairly casual. Perhaps their personalities clash. For the minister, Seth might be the kind of guy who'd be unacceptable if he wasn't a relative. But I can't even meet him, let alone give him any messages.
Oh yeah, that's true. But I can't really do anything, and I don't feel like doing anything.
I knew this, but it was frustrating to be informed of the reality. I clenched my teeth, made a fist, and resisted the urge to cry.
So that's enough, yeah? You can't do anything more than this. You can give up and go home.
No, I won't go.
The old man might be stubborn, but you give him a run for his money.
I can't give up.
Sorry, but I don't think there's anything I can do. Sorry?
Then can you hand him a letter for me?
A letter?
Yeah. It's got the things I wanted to consult with him about. I held out the letter I had just written this morning. Seth took it with a dubious look on his face and said in a voice that sounded both stunned and amazed.
Whoa. This is a pretty thick envelope.
Apologies. I started writing and then I just couldn't stop.
I'm not sure I'm the right person to entrust a letter that important to. As you can see, I'm a lazy person, so I might just throw it away along the way.
Nah, you wouldn't. Something happened probably a few years ago now, maybe even when you were a kid, where you tried to do something that was important. It didn't go well, and instead of being like, hey, sometimes important things just fail, you're like, what's the point of trying? And so I just don't want to be involved with such responsibility ever again, or something like that. I'm already concocting backstories for this guy. But I feel like it's got to be something like that, where he's just like, nope, you know what? I'm just not responsible. I'm just gonna get out of here. Yeah. He's not careless. I don't get that vibe from him at all. I don't think you'd do that.
How do you figure?
A truly lazy and cold person wouldn't talk to me in this way. Facts. Patiently attempting to turn back a person who won't go away without threatening them is nothing short of a hassle. You've taken up that hassle and are even trying to convince me. That means that you're at least that patient and kind. I don't think that kind of person would throw away what was entrusted to him that easily.
You might get along better than you'd think.
With you?
No, with my old man.
What? What does he mean by that? His father hates me. Nah, girl, he's impressed with you. When I asked, Seth laughed from the back of his nose and took the letter.
Well, delivering a letter's easy enough. But I figure this has a 90% chance of failing.
That doesn't matter. I want to do whatever I can, no matter how small the possibility might be.
Why are you so...
He stared at my letter and mumbled some sort of continuation. I could not hear him clearly because his voice was too small. The expression on his face was a mixture of emotions, neither dismay nor sadness. As I was about to close the distance, curious, a cheerful voice came up to switch the mood.
Alright, I'll give this to the old man.
Yes.
Is that all for today, then?
Seth patted me on both shoulders and forced me to change direction. Meaning, turn around and go home.
Is there something else?
I took a couple of steps and turned around. Seth, with a disappointed look on his face, seemed to be preparing himself for whatever I was going to complain about this time. I was going to reassert my request, but what came out impulsively was a different world, or words, or something. Word. Thanks! Even if I'm being rejected, this is a big step forward from when I was just staring at the mansion. I was happy to be able to have the dialogue, and that feeling naturally led to words of gratitude.
You're welcome.
A quick wave of the hand, and this time I'm on our way, or my way home. I looked back once around the corner, just as Seth was disappearing into the mansion. Was he seeing me off? If so, what kind of eyes was he seeing me off with? Somehow I was concerned about that, as well as those muttered words that I couldn't hear. Oh, it's the rainy day. Okay, are you passing out? No? Okay, we can't skip. It might be the same day, but maybe Noel's not our savior this time. It rained throughout the night, and unfortunately continued to rain in the morning. That didn't mean I could take the day off as I sat down in my usual position. It's cold. Well, it's better than being hot enough to melt, I suppose. I tightened my mouth and straightened my back while sitting upright. I can't give up because of rain. The sky is dim, and I don't know how much time has passed. The only thing that has changed in the last few hours is that I am terribly tired. The sideways rain, which had increased in intensity, pounded my cheeks, draining my strength more and more. Just a little while longer. My vision is blurring. My body is cold, and I can't stop the shivering that comes from my core. Just a little while. My eyelids are heavy. My body seems to be sucked to the ground. Even though I know that can't happen, my consciousness is gradually drifting away. How easy it would be if I could just sleep like this. Yes, that's what my blurry head thought. Yeah, interesting. So Seth saves us this time.
Hey, what are you doing? You're soaking wet.
A voice from behind me pulled me back into reality. I turn around and see Seth looking at me with a bitter look on his face. What am I... I'm waiting for the minister.
Seriously, that's not what I'm asking you.
I looked vaguely back at Seth, who seemed to be unable to bear it. I looked at his face, which was even more frustrated than mine, and it made me laugh because it was strangely funny. Sorry. If I fell down and died here, that'd be pretty bad for you, yeah?
That's not the issue here.
Then what is? Fatigue and rain are blurring not only my body, but also my thoughts. When I asked him with a giggle, Seth, whose face became more serious than ever, reached out to me. His large palm gently touches one of my wet cheeks.
You're so cold.
More than the contact itself, I was surprised by Seth's lack of hesitation. There was no hesitation in his eyes, which was unusual for him. Is it okay for you to be touching me like this? I am your house's hated enemy. Perhaps it was the cold rain, but I was more flustered by the unusually hot feeling of the eyes on me and the body heat that melted into my skin.
I don't have the energy or guts to think of someone as an enemy. That's just tiring. So for me, you've always been just a girl. One that's dedicated and surprisingly stubborn.
Seth grabbed my arm and stood me up. I was puzzled by the unexpected forcefulness of the situation, thinking that he would never resort to violence.
Yeah. I can't really take her inside of the house.
Seth showed no signs of letting go, as he muttered, staring at the mansion.
Right. All right, come with me.
But I have to be here!
No.
No? Even if it is out of concern, I would not want to be turned away forcibly. Despite my hasty resistance, Seth's strength was stronger than I'd expected. It doesn't hurt, but he's holding me tightly enough so that I can't shake him off. Let me go!
I refuse.
It sounds more definitive than when he turns me away. Troubled, I opened and closed my mouth several times before finally slumping my shoulders. My body, battered by rain for a long time, no longer had the strength to stand up to a man's force. Huh. Okay, so we're here now. After walking for a while, Seth stopped in front of a bar.
We're going in.
Oh. Oh! A new background. How fun! Upon opening the door, the place was full of drunk people. The smell of alcohol was intoxicating, and men were shouting and laughing here and there. I was overwhelmed by the atmosphere of a bar I had never entered before and was stunned for a while.
Let's see.
As Seth, who was apparently looking for someone, looked around, I heard a very cheerful voice among the clamor. Welcome, Seth! You forget something?
Well, not quite.
Come back for another round? A man who noticed Seth, perhaps a regular, called out.
No, that's not it.
This isn't the best place to make out with your girlfriend.
She's not. It's not like that.
Don't be so shy. That's not like you at all.
I'm telling you, it's not like that. Sorry. They don't mean any harm.
It's okay. I'm fine. Seth responds to the ridicule from the regular customers, sometimes seriously, sometimes with a light touch. He must be well liked by everyone who calls out to him. Through their smiles, one can sense a part of Seth's personality.
Oh, come on, we'll talk about that later. Later!
What? You're no fun. Oh my, you've brought a companion today?
Mistress, is the room vacant?
Yeah. Use the usual room as you like.
Thanks. I owe you one.
The bar's mistress went up a set of stairs in the back. Seth took my hand and followed along. What on earth am I doing? I like that his first thought was, I gotta take her to a bar since I can't take her into the house, instead of like, I should take her back home. He's very genuine. Like, he's like genuinely concerned and stuff, but he's not the brightest. Normally, I would have brushed his hand away and refused, but now I was obediently following. I must be tired. Exhausted from the rain, I probably felt reassured by the warmth of the bar we unexpectedly visited. While I was thinking up such excuses, girl, we passed through the back of the room. And another one. Okay. Well then, the lady here will change clothes, so you gotta get out.
Can I leave this to you?
Of course. Now get out.
I got it already. No need to push.
The mistress pushed his back, kicking Seth out. Now just the two of us, the mistress spoke in a softer voice, perhaps being mindful for me. Her warm smile was motherly, making me a little sad. All I got are clothes from my own closet, but it's better than nothing. Wear these until yours dry. Thank you. Very much. With the mistress's help, I took off my wet clothes and wiped my body off. Changing clothes, I finally felt comfortable. I'll try your clothes. Sorry for the trouble. When the times are tough, we all gotta stick together. By the way, you're the political assistant's wife, aren't you? Eh? I heard from some folks who work at the castle that the pretty girl with the blonde hair became the political assistant's wife. Rumor has it that that guy is pretty weird. Like he's into some weird stuff. Is it true? More than you know. That's... Obviously, I couldn't tell her about being thrown a paperweight. I mean, you could. As I was wondering how to answer, the mistress laughed. Sorry. You probably can't really answer that. Seeing her friendly smile, I let out a sigh of relief. I feel relaxed with her, perhaps because her hair color is the same as that of the Roos people. By any chance, were you born in Roos? Ah, yeah. How long have you been in Nasla? How long has it been? I know I've been here longer than I was in Roos. Considering the mistress's age, did she come here of her own will and wasn't kidnapped? I was curious, but given that this was our first meeting, I was hesitant to ask. Ah, if she's been here for a while, she might know my mother? Man, we're finally getting some movement on the mom situation. I've been wondering when we were going to. This is delightful. Alright, where is it? Samal. The heroine's kind and gentle mother. She was abducted by the Nasla army when the heroine was still young. Yes, she was. Did you happen to know a woman named Samal?
Samal? Samal? Never heard of her.
I see. My faint hopes were shattered and my shoulders slumped. The mistress looked at me with concern and spoke.
Were you brought here too?
Huh? You too?
Yeah. I was married to a man from a small island country in the west. Then we lost a battle with Nasla. And now I'm here.
Apologies, but it doesn't seem like you bear any grudges against Nasla.
I'm so busy trying to get by that I've lost that youthful spirit.
Then, if you could go back to Rus, or the Western Island country, would you?
No, I won't.
No, why?
I'm pretty happy with my life now, and there's no guarantee that I'd be able to live the same life back in Rus.
What's going on in Rus? Everyone's like initially like, this sucks, and then like, you know what, if I had the chance to go back, me. I see.
It hasn't been that long since you came to Nasla, right?
Yes.
Well, it might be difficult to hear this, but it's best to give up quickly. You gotta know when to give up.
She spoke in a bright and strong voice, and honestly I felt complicated. For the first time I saw a bitter reality, that among the women living in Nasla, such as the mistress here, there were those who didn't want to return home.
Look, your hair is dry. Now you don't have to worry about catching a cold.
I tied my hair up a little roughly so as to distract myself from the melancholy feelings. Thank you very much.
May I come in?
Ah, we kept you waiting. We didn't have time to do her makeup, but this pretty lady doesn't really need it.
Thanks, you're a big help.
If you want some drinks or food, come downstairs. I'm going back to the bar.
As the mistress left the room with a cheerful laugh, the dimly lit room calmed down. Seth spoke out in a hurry, perhaps unable to stand the silence.
I didn't bring you here for, any other purposes.
I did wonder, but I was like, nah, you're just a dumb sweetheart. Yes, I know that.
Huh, okay.
I told him I wasn't wary of him, but for some reason, Seth's posture slumped.
But speaking of...
Yes?
I gave my old man your letter.
Did the minister say anything?
No, nothing. But since he isn't gonna meet you, you already know what he'd say, don't you?
However, still I can't give up. If I give up, then everyone will be out of options.
Hey.
Seth called out to break the silence. Looking up a little confused, Seth looked at me with a serious look.
Why are you trying so hard? Trying this much is pretty hard, yeah? You don't ever think about giving up.
I can't give up, even if things are difficult.
You got taken by the political assistant, so... you could just leave things up to him and take it easy.
I feel repulsed by the admonitory tone. I tried to hold it in, but it was really frustrating that he didn't understand or accept me, so I ended up speaking my mind. I can't just take it easy. It's my job to convince the minister given to me by my husband. Seth's eyebrows lift in amusement at my tone of voice, which has lost its respectful tone.
I can't convince my old man. Just not gonna happen.
He sounds more provocative than usual. Disgusted, I exchanged a straight look with him. Even if it's impossible, I have to try. If I do nothing, then the door to everyone's future will be slammed shut. That's why I'll never give up. Are you making fun of me? Have I actually seen her face like this before, where she's like, She's so angry.
No. Just, I thought that you're cute when you talk like that.
Cute? I stepped back, flustered at this sudden statement. He teasingly stroked my heated cheek with his fingertips.
It's too dazzling for this tired old man.
I'm about to put up my defenses for being hit on, then I'm confused by the wry smile on Seth's face. These words seem more directed at himself than at me.
Why do you go that far?
Why?
You come and wait in front of the mansion, but my father pretends to be away and doesn't come out. You know that, but you continue to sit there even in the rain.
If the minister is stubborn, then I'll be even more stubborn.
More stubborn than the old man. You got me beat.
I don't recall winning anything. This manner of speaking had become natural before I realized it. Is it because of the vibes that Seth gives off? He does give off them vibes.
See, I've already lost. By the way, aren't you hungry? I'll go get something hot.
Seth left the room and returned with soup and wine on a tray. My stomach begins to grumble at the delicious smell.
The mistress made it just for you, so don't let it go to waste, yeah?
If he says so, I'm reluctant to decline. I wasn't sure about eating together with a political enemy, but I ultimately decided to accept. Thanks.
The mistress makes a delicious meal.
They're all traditional Rus dishes. It's seasoned a bit spicy, though, perhaps to match Nasla tastes. That's kind of neat, honestly. Do you come here often? Girl, you using that line on him? Sheesh.
Yeah, ever since I was a kid.
To a bar?
They wouldn't let me drink until I became an adult, but they did give me good food. Coming here was always lively and fun, and even as a kid, they treated me like a proper customer.
It does look like fun, but didn't your mother worry about you?
My real mother's dead. The one now is my stepmother.
I figured, since she seemed so young. I'm like, it's gotta be a second wife. I'm sorry.
Don't sweat it. You're the one who needs sympathy. You're forcibly brought to a neighboring country, separated from your family. And then you gotta convince a stubborn old man on top of that.
No, I don't need your sympathy.
Then we're even. I don't need anyone's sympathy either.
You're always going out somewhere. Is this where you go?
Not always.
That whole good-for-nothing son thing was true.
I'm gonna blush with all the compliments.
I'm not complimenting you. You should be a bit more serious. Take on a job.
Serious, huh? To be honest with you, turning you away was my job. So, you still think I should work seriously?
Well, maybe not that seriously.
Right. So a little debauchery is just about right.
You're weird.
Better than being boring.
I chuckle, amused by the playful way he says it. Tonight, perhaps because we are sitting around the same table, mysteriously the walls between our hearts have been lowered. Instead of vigilance, I'm curious. Do you have a wife or a lover?
There aren't many women who can deal with such a good-for-nothing son. And there aren't many women to begin with.
Perhaps, yeah.
Ah, you're sympathizing.
You hate someone feeling sympathy for you? Seth broke out in laughter, which made me laugh as well. This is the first time I've had such an enjoyable meal since I was kidnapped by Nasla. I'm having fun as the drinks continue to flow. I wish I could have a meal like this together with Shalu and Solana. What used to be a given is now something I long for. Remembering the days gone by, I reassured myself. I still had to convince the minister to restore the happiness of the past.